Hello kids. How you guys doing today? I hope everybody's doing great. Welcome to lesson 5.8. What am I thinking about? Welcome to lesson 8.3. I probably enjoy lesson 5 point something. That's why I kept repeating. But yeah, welcome to lesson 8.3. In this lesson, what we're going to learn is that how we're going to make the counting loop more useful. In the last video, all we did was that we printed my name 8 times. It's not really useful. Who wants to print hello Tawheed for 5 times? Well, in this video, on this lesson I should say, we're going to learn how to use the counting loop or the for loop, right? Counting loop is the same as the for loop, to build a multiplication table, right? You know how in school your teacher will tell you what is 7 times 10, what is 7 times 81, or what is 8 times 3. Sometimes you have to look that up. You have to look in your time or in your multiplication table to look it up. Well, we are smart enough. We are programmers. We know Python, and we know that the for loop can repeat itself so many times. Why can't we just use it to make a timetable than having to look at the printed multiplication table? Well, that is what we're going to do in this lesson. All right, we're going to build a multiplication table using the for loop. So I have idle open up, so I just do file new window, make it big for everybody to see, and then I just do file save as, and then I will say users Tawheed Kids Python Tawheed chapter 8, and then I'll call it useful.py. What a name. You guys know the name can be whatever, it just has to end with that py. And as we already know, with the for loop, all we have to do is we can do for. To start, we have to do for, and then a variable name, and then I'll call it times. Actually, no, I'll call it useful. That's a bad variable name, but oh well. And then I'll make a list. I'll make 10 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I made a list, and this is a block of code I want to tell Python I'm not done. I'll do this, and then for useful in all the lists, every time the list goes around, useful is going to be 1. So what we want to do is I want to print the variable useful. Okay, we're printing the variable useful, and then a comma, right? We are building a 5 times table, so a comma, and then I'll put a string. And you guys know that we can put a whole bunch of print statement on one line separated by the comma, and then I'll say 5 times useful times five equals, and then a comma, and then I want the variable useful, and then I will do times 5. Oh, people are like, whoa, Tawheed, what are you doing? You're confusing me. I don't know what you're doing. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. Let me run the code and explain once I'm done. And then I'll run it. See? Wow. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 5 is 20. This is amazing. We just built our own multiplication table with just 2 lines of code. This is incredible. Okay, so let me show you what I did, or how the magic happened. Alright, so you guys already know the first line, right? I said every time the loop goes around, the variable useful becomes 1. So the first time around, the variable useful is 1. The second time around, the variable useful is 2, and so on and so forth. Alright, so we know how to do with this part. We know when this line goes first, this print useful. It prints 1, it prints 2, and then you guys know that I said the string, we can add a string to the same line or multiple print statements separated by a comma, right? So this is just a string. This doesn't mean anything. It's just a string. And then so over here, the variable useful times 5 is what gets printed. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So over here, so the first time around, the variable useful is 1. And then what I do is that I multiply useful, the variable useful, times 5, and it gives me 5. So it doesn't print out useful times 5. It just gives you the output of useful times 5. So the fourth time around, the variable useful is going to be 4. So it's going to be 4 times 5. So that will be useful 4 times 5, which is 20. Okay. What I want to say also is that this is all this is all part of the code block. So that every time the variable useful is 1, all this line gets executed. All this code block gets printed. The next time when it's 2, all these code block gets printed, and so on and so forth. I hope you guys, found some use. You guys think, useful can be, I said useful. The for, the counting loop can be used for amazing stuff, right? I mean, we can do that. I mean, we can clearly do print 5 times 1, 5 times 2. I mean, but we don't want to do it 10 times, We want the computer to do it for us in just 2 lines. So basically, that is the power of the for loop. And I'm sure you guys have also started exploring and playing stuff around. Create complicated multiplication table. Do some multiplication that you couldn't even do. Multiply, 1 million by times. Just create something. Be creative. Think about what you were not able to do with multiplication table, or think about some addition that you would like to do every time around, or some division, or anything that applied in school, and just try some examples out. I want you guys to read page, I'm not sure, but it's up in the instructions. You guys to look up in the instructions. You guys should read that page and practice it out. Send me emails if you guys have any questions. You guys always know that I'm always online, and I'm always looking forward to you guys' email to help you out. Until then, kids, I hope you guys are enjoying Python. Try out some for loops, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.